Hello everyone, it's a Saturday morning, 20th of April, and I've been so busy with my dahlias and my chrysanthemums that I haven't been able to start, the stuff that I really love doing, which is seeds. I love growing things from seeds, and I thought what I was going to do is take you through some of them. So I'd gone on a trip to the UK, specifically to Tour Gardens last year, June into July. And while I was there, I almost filled up my suitcase with seed. So this is just a small selection of what I picked up there, along with, some of the floret ones. So I'll show you which ones of those I got. Now I'm not starting all of them because a lot of them need cold stratification. So those I've just left in the fridge, and I'll start them the beginning of 2025. I'll put them into some sort of moist medium, compost, something, vermiculite, and I will store them in the fridge for several weeks so that they get a damp, cold stratification, because that's what they need to start. But these I'm going to start now, at least some of them, maybe not the whole pack. And I picked this guy up at the local nursery, Caladium. Love him. He's white. He's going to look beautiful beside, I have a very dark purple eucomis. I think he'll be striking beside that purple eucomis. But anyways, this is something that I'm going to try and see if I can get it to store for the winter, just as I don't know if it's a corm, a bulb. It's one of those. I'm going to see if I can store it over the winter. Keep it going. So let's get into the first pile. So these are seeds from the Royal Horticultural Society from their various gardens that they have. And I picked these up at the flower show, Hampton Court Palace Flower Show. So the first ones that I got were some diorama. I don't know if you've seen these things. They're called Angel's fishing rods, I think. The common term for them. They are spectacular. I have coveted them for forever. My suspicion is these seeds should be more sown fresh, so I'm not sure what type, if any, kind of a germination I'm going to get. And then keeping the plants alive is also going to be a challenge. They're not a beginner. They're definitely an expert level, and I'm not really an expert level, so you'll see what happens with my dioramas. Just keep your fingers crossed for me. And then I got some primulas because I absolutely love primulas. Now I have some Primula auricula that I purchased, quite a few years ago from seed, and I started them. And actually some of them are overwintering in my garden, no problem, up here in Orangeville. Granted, we usually get snow cover, but yeah, I'm very surprised at the hardiness. Now, I don't think this one is going to be hardy. This one might be. Anyways, we'll give it a try. At the very least, they're very easy to start from seed. They need light to germinate, so they need to be on top of the compost. So, Primula. I don't know if this is just a fun thing. I don't know if you have ever seen Cardiocrinum giganteum. It's a huge white lily, usually kind of more woodland. It grows like 7-8 feet tall. I think this one takes like 7 years before the bulb is big enough to bloom. So cardio also needs to be sown fresh, so questionable. And then some fritillaria. So I have the snake's head fritillaria, and I love it, and the lily beetles love it too. But so I thought I would try 2 more fritillarias, and we'll see how it goes. And these are I find fritillaria quite easy to start from seed. You should use fresh though, but I think I might be okay with these. I have an area of my plot which has a cattle panel, and I kind of use it to give myself a little bit of privacy in my sitting area when I'm at the plot, just from the other gardeners, although, don't really need it. But this grows substantially. It's it ends up being quite a huge plant. And I do keep the loofahs, and I use the loofahs. So need to start a few of those. And then we got to Mrs. Fothergill's and cornflower. These were all over the gardens, like a dark, blacky, purpley red. And several of us actually were looking for this one. So I'm glad I found this seed. This is no problem to start. This cornflower is very easy. And then Ragged Robin. So I saw it at the show. They had one plant just by itself, and it was in a meadow format, and it looked so, I mean, I just loved it. And you know, it's one that the bees love. I don't have a wildflower meadow, so I'm not sure where I'll put it, but just like it. This one was amazing too. Obviously a big architectural plant. My concern with this one is seed dispersal. I don't know if it's gonna survive the winter. I certainly do not want any more than what I plant. So I will grow some of this, but I'm going to see, you know, if it tries to self-sow. But the plant is spectacular. The blooms are so cool, and then you get, you know, obviously those big seed heads after all the seeds are out. And then from Sutton's, it's a zinnia called Peaches and Cream. I haven't seen this one here, so I just decided, okay, let me pick that up. I've tried a few. I couldn't wait, and I sowed some, I think it was in July or August of last year, and the blooms were less than spectacular. So we'll see if I get anything nice out of that. Salpiglossis. I think I'm saying that right. Cube Blue. Don't know anything about this. I think it should be interesting. Maybe I can put it just as a container plant, because I usually keep a bunch of pots near my front door as a big display, kind of as an ode to what they do over at one of the gardens in the UK. So we'll see. And then we get into the Johnsons. So Apricot Delight Foxglove. I think this one is at the biennial, so I'll start it this year. We should get some blooms next year. I don't find germination of foxglove an issue. Now, pampas grass. Now I know this thing can be really, you know, in warmer areas, really invasive. I think for me, it's going to be a struggle just to try and keep it alive. I think it's going to be a couple of years in a pot before I actually see any of the plumes. It's just more of a, can I get anything? I just like a challenge. This was interesting. And I'm growing it mostly for drying. I'm trying drying of flowers more. I know there's some dahlias that I've had really good success with. There's some mums that I've had really good success with. So that's what I'm growing this for, just to try it. Love this one. Perennial, I'm hoping. You can get them at the nurseries here, but I just thought, oh, I'll grow mine from seed and get a whole bunch of them and plant them around. I think this will be a great dried flower as well. And I'm going to put this, I think, in my front garden bed. I'm going to put it against some kind of the dark colored leaves. I'm going to love this one. Then we got into the Sarah Ravens. And again, this is just a subsection of all the seeds that I got. So I have many more that I've decided I'm not going to plant this year. So for the Sarah Ravens, we've got this Black Beauty Poppy, which is gorgeous. Echinacea pallida. Now this was throughout the gardens. I know it's a prairie form of echinacea, so I think it should be fine here. And it was all through the gardens. Everyone had it. Of course, the ubiquitous Verbena bonariensis, tall, see-through, gives some height to the garden. And then supposedly a tall forget-me-not. So I'm curious to see just how tall it will get. And I'm hoping where I planted it will self-seed itself so that I'll have it all the time. And then just for fun, because my daughter collects these, is the living stones. So I'm hoping to get her a few different forms. We'll see how that goes. Again, nice challenge. And then of course I couldn't say no when the floret sale came up, and I just picked up some of the floret seed. So I got the precious metals and the alpenglow for the zinnias. I'm curious to see just how different they look. They're obvious. They're to my eye, they're quite similar, but we'll see. And then I got one of the celotias, the rose gold. Now the deer I know are going to try and eat this, so I'm going to have to put them in my fenced in, the area that's fenced in so that the deer can't make it through. And then, as if I don't have enough dahlia seedlings, I probably have 200 of my own. These I picked up, Can Girls. Now they're going to be a form that I do not want in my hybridization area. So I'm going to be growing them, but I'm going to be giving them to one of my friends who's going to grow them out, and then we're going to assess them in the fall to see how they look. So this is my plan for this morning before I start packing orders that are going to be shipped out on Monday. I hope to get a few of them done at least and seeded because it's already quite late. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this. Take care, everyone.